Welcome to the Wandering Tangent Review. I'm BJ, with me is Jeff and Gary, and this time around we are talking about the 1994 action film, Street Fighter the Movie. Not to be confused with Street Fighter the Game or Street Fighter the Movie the Game, just Street Fighter the Movie.
The movie.
The movie. Gary, this was your idea. You go first.
Okay, so on suggestion of my son, who is a avid fan of Street Fighter video games, we ended up watching this movie. He wanted to see it, and so he suggested we watch it for our podcast too, by the way. And so we ended up watching it. Now, I've seen this movie before. I did not think highly of it before. I did not think very highly of it now, but it's one of those, if you're watching it with the right audience, a movie can be elevated. And given that I was watching it with my son, who both loved and hated this movie at the same time, he loved to see his favorite characters on the screen, and he hated to see any changes made to it. Oh my gosh, I'm raising a lore purist. But anyways... besides that fact, I'd like to say that I think this movie rates at a solid 1.5 on my scale. So 1.5 out of, anyways, yeah. Jeff, what do you think of it?
Yeah. So when you picked this movie, Gary, I was expecting to not like it. I was expecting this experience to be educational, which is a reward of itself, because in this podcast, we don't always just review the movies we like. We review movies of all kinds and just see what we thought about it. And so I was expecting a movie that I would just watch and it would be over with and blah, blah, blah. My experience is that I watched it and I thought, wow, this movie is genuinely funny and good. And I don't think I ever really watched it as a kid. It's definitely cheesy. It is a cheesy show that doesn't try to... Well, when it originally came out, it probably was trying to be more serious and entertaining, but it was designed for the 10-year-old that you're either 10 years old or you might have a 10-year-old inside you somehow. But I laughed pretty hard at several of the points or several of the scenes in this film. And there's characters that are entertaining. There's the villain makes you laugh, but also it's just, there's something fun and entertaining about it. So although this is not a movie that you would say is a pure, adrenaline-driven action kind of story. This is a movie that came out in the 90s that was quirky and fun, and somehow through aging has become even more charming in different ways. The cheesiness gets even more cheesy, and it becomes something that is good of itself. So altogether, I give the movie a 3, and I think it's a good watch, and everyone should give it a try. But you have to watch it under the mindset of it is what it is. It's just a funny, cheesy kind of thing that will make you laugh, and it will be fun and entertaining and somewhat surprising. That's it.
Okay. I'm gonna give it a -2. So
okay.
There is exactly one redeeming feature in this movie. That is Raul Julia. This was his last role. He's M. Bison. He knew exactly what kind of role it was, and there is nary a piece of scenery left unchewed. Every other character in this movie is some degree of phoning it in because it's a paycheck or high school level acting. Raul Julia is literally the only reason to watch this movie. If you go onto YouTube, type in Raul Julia Street Fighter, spend 10 minutes watching clips of him in this movie, you've gone pretty much all the value out of this movie. In my opinion, at least, the dialogue ranges from boring to painful, outside of Raul Julia, and then the characters are particularly engaging or believable. I did not believe for a hot minute that the character Chung Li was from some remote town somewhere that M. Bison leveled with impunity, when during like the first half of the movie she has like a quasi New York accent. M. Bison apparently destroyed the quaint town of Brooklyn or something, I don't know. There's, in my opinion, there's very little redeeming this movie. The little that is almost entirely Raul Julia, and I do not recommend. I anti-recommend. Like Gary, I had seen this movie before, so I knew more or less what I was in for, and unlike Gary, I guess, I watched it by myself, so I got exactly what I expected, which was not entertained. So yeah.
Okay. So we have very different scores this time.
Yes.
That will make some very interesting discussion during the podcast, I guess.
Yeah. So if you want to hear us talk this out, you can jump over to our long form discussion and hear what becomes of that conversation. If not, you can join us in another couple of weeks for next review of whatever it is we talk about. I'm BJ. With me is Jeff and Gary. We will see you next time.